What up guys, welcome back to my channel. This is KA Music Academy. I hope you guys are good. So today we're starting our lesson with music theory and we're going to have a playlist of all the lessons we will cover this year. Alright, so you can always go back and learn more about your music theory, whether you're a guitarist or you're a pianist or whatever instrument you play, you can always apply this knowledge to what you know. Right. So the first thing we're starting with is note names and values. Alright, so there's different ways to name these notes. So there's two different ways, right? There's the US names, right? Names from the United States for the notes, and then there's the names from the UK. So we're going to go through all that stuff today. So we're focusing on this today. So the first one is, it's like a circle like this, but it's kind of highlighted in, I'm sure you all have seen this before, right? Something like this. Right. So this is called a semi-brief, right? I'm gonna write big so you can see, right? I hope you guys can see what I'm writing. Right, so this is a semi-brief. This is the UK name for this, right? The semi-brief. And in the US, they call it right? Okay. So in the UK, they call this a semi-brief, right? And then in the US, they call this a whole note. So you can choose whichever term you want to use to call this. So I'll just put here UK for United Kingdom, US for United States. Okay? Right. So this is the first one. Now, this semi-brief has 4 counts in it, right? So the value of this is 4. Let's say, for example, you are playing a progression of 4 or 4. I know you guys are not familiar with this, or if you are, good. If you're not, I'll make another video on that. But just bear with me. Let's say you're playing something. So if you were to play a G chord in a 4/4 time signature music sheet, right? You would have to put this in one measure, which means this counts as 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So that's the semi-brief. This is the first one we're doing. So I'm going to give you time to write this down, then I'll erase and move on to the next one. Alright? Okay. So now that we have the semi-brief, let's move on to the next one. Alright? Remember, semi-brief is also known as whole note. Don't forget that. Right. So now we're going to move to our next note, right? Which is, so this one is like the semi-brief, but it has a stem, right? This one is called, in the UK, we call this one a minim, right? Right? That's in the UK, right? And in the US, we call it the half note. Okay? US. Right. So remember the first one we had was the semi-brief, whole note, 4 counts. That's the value. Right? Now this one, it's almost like the semi-brief, but the only difference is it has a stem. Right? So this one is known as minim or half note, and the value is 2 counts. So it's half of the semi-brief. So if you had the semi-brief here like this, right? Cover this in. You would need 2 of this to make 1 of this. So 2 of this equal to 1 of this. So basically 2 plus 2 is 4. Alright, so this is the value and this is the names. So don't forget half note, minimum. Value is 2 counts. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright? Good. Okay. Now our next one, we're moving. I'm trying not to rush this lesson so you can have your time to write, take notes, and actually understand. But if you get confused, please do pause, go back to the beginning, find yourself, and then come and find us. Okay? Alright, so we have that one. Now, we have our next one. Our next one is more or less like the minimum, but the only difference is, so it's like the minimum, right? But it's highlighted inside here. Right? Right. So this one is a different, this one is a different note. So the minimum doesn't have some things highlighted in here. But now, this one is called the crochet in the UK. Right? Right? This one is called the crochet in the UK. Okay? Crochet. In the US, we call this a quarter note. Right? Remember we had the half note? Then half is what? It's quarter. Basically. Right? So this one is called the quarter note, right? Quarter note. In the US. Okay, so don't get confused. If someone says this is a quarter note and you know it as a crochet, it's the same thing. It's just different terms from different countries, I guess. Alright, so this is a crochet and it's a quarter note, and the value for this one is 1. Right? So that's the value for this. So you would need 2 of this. So basically, let me just give you an example. But I will draw a diagram to show you how this actually works. So you won't be confused and everything, right? So how this works is, for example, the minimum is equal to this plus this. Okay? Remember, the value is 2. The value of the crochet or the quarter note is 1. Right? So don't confuse yourself, don't get confused. Yeah, just write this down. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the next one. Just a quick recap. We covered the minimum. We covered the semibrief, which is also known as the whole tone or whole note. We covered the minimum, which is also known as the half note. And now we did the crochet, which is also known as the quarter note. Now we're going to do our quavers, right? I'm sure you are familiar with this one. I mean, there's an artist called Quaver, you know? Milo is, let's get it. Okay, that's a message with you. But yeah, okay, so now we have the quaver. Okay, so the quaver is like the crochet, right? Covered in like a crochet. The only difference is it has this. Alright. Remember, crochet doesn't have this. Quaver has this. 1. That's the quaver. It has 1 of this. Right? And the value of this is 1 over 2. Right? Now the name in the UK is quaver, right? That's in the UK. And in the US, we call it the 8th note. Right? So keep in mind, different names, but the same thing. Note, US. Alright? Quaver, value is half. That's the name UK. That's the name US. the eighth note, right? Our crochet was the quarter note. So now we have the eighth note. So one crochet is equal to 2 quavers. Right? One crochet is equal to 2 quavers. Alright, so there's something I want to mention, but I'm not going to cover it in this lesson. I will have a separate lesson for it. So there's things we know as, for example, stems, beams, and stuff like that. I'll teach you about beaming, the music theory, but for now, let me give you an example. So, 2 quavers like this can be drawn as, okay, let me erase this. I'm sure you guys have this already. Okay, so let me make another diagram. Alright, so 2 quavers, right? I'm sure you all have seen this somewhere, but just get confused because you don't know what it means. It's equal to you can draw it like this. Right? So 2 separate quavers like this is equal to 2 quavers that are beamed. So this is a beam. Right? Which is also equal to a crochet. I don't know if I'm making sense. 2 quavers, half, half, is equal to 2 beamed quavers, which is half and half, which is equal to 1. And our crochet is 1. Alright. So keep that in mind. Quaver, UK, 8th note, the US. Alright. Now we're going to do our last one, and then I'll draw a diagram for you guys to help you understand how the structure is. Okay? Alright, let me just do the last one. So we covered semi-brief, which is a whole note, covered minim, which is a half note also. Then we covered a crochet, which is known as a quarter note. Now we have our quaver, which is known as the 8th note. And then we have our semi-quaver. Alright? So the semi-quaver is the same as a quaver. Right? Quaver. But it has an extra thing. Okay? The quaver has 1. The semi-quaver has 2. Alright. Now, the value for this, what is half divided by half? Right? Basically. So quaver was, if the quaver was 1 over 2, then our semi-quaver is 1 over 4. That's the value. So this one is called semi-quaver, right? That's the UK. And then we have 16, right? 16 notes, which is the US. Alright? So we have semi-quaver, which is the name the UK gave it, and 16th note, which is the name the US gave it. So you can use either one of those as long as you understand what the semi-quaver or the 16th note looks like. And the value is 1 over 4. Alright. Now let me make another. So 2 semi-quavers, right? 2 semi-quavers is equal to 1 quaver, right? 2 semi-quavers is equal to 1 quaver. So now with the semi-quavers you can also beam them like how you can beam your quavers, right? Okay, and you can also beam a semi-quaver to a quaver, right? Let me give you an example. But like I said, I'll make a different lesson to cover beaming stems and dotted nodes and the rest and their values, right? Because all these nodes and symbols I've shown you, they have rests. So just keep that in mind. But for now, let me just give you a different example. So this is how you can beam. So, right? This is how you can beam a semi-quaver. Right? This is how you beam a semi-quaver. And this is equal to 1 quaver. Right? A beamed semi-quaver, 2 semi-quavers is equal to, so 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 is equal to, right? Okay, good. Now that we have all this, let me just give you one more example of how you can beam a quaver to a semi-quaver, right? And then from there, I'll give you a diagram that shows you the values and how they go down the table, right? So you can beam your quavers and your semi-quavers like this, all right? Now, this is our semi-quaver, and that's our quaver. So this is half, and this is 1 over 4, 1 over 4, and this is 1 over 1 over 2. And this is equal to, guess what? I'm sure you all didn't get it, but if you guessed the quaver, then you're correct. I'm joking. You see? I got you guys. If you guessed the crochet, then you're absolutely right. Okay? So, a quaver plus 2 semi-quavers is equal to a crochet. Alright. So, that's the notes and their values. And now let me just draw a table of how they go down the table. Right? Don't forget, if you're confused, you can always go back to the beginning of the video from wherever you lost me and just listen again and try and find me. Okay? So we're gonna start with our semi-brief or whole notes, right? There we go. Let's say these are whole notes. I'm drawing nonsense now, but you get the idea. Okay, so now under this, I think I drew the line too far. Because I can see the whole space once I'm done. So yes, under this we have, right? So 2 of this make 1 of this, like I explained. And then under this we have this, right? So we have semi-brief, whole note, minim, half note. Now we're going to have the crochet. Now you have the crochet. So 2 crochets make 1 minim, 4 crochets make 1 semi-brief. Then under your crochets we have our quavers. Okay, it's gonna start looking messy from here, so please forgive me. Ooh, it's messy. Okay, back to finesse now. See? 2, 4, 6, 8. That's why it's called the eighth note. You can see. So eight of the quavers make one semibrief. Right? Now you get the idea. And then lastly we have our semiquaver, which would mean in each quaver is a semiquaver. Right? There's two semiquavers in each quaver. Okay? That's one. And another one. Another one here. Another one here. So it just keeps going and going. Yeah. As you can see, it's looking messy now. You can barely see, but you get the idea. Right? And then same goes for this last two. You could just put them on the side because it's looking messy now. And then here also same thing. So you would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 semiquavers to make a whole note, which is your semibrief, right? So you understand now. That's why this semiquaver is called the 16th note. The quaver is called the 8th note. Or crescendo is called the what? It's called the quarter note. Okay, so it's called the quarter note, and then you have your minimum, which is also the half note. Then you have your semibrief, which is also known as your whole note. So whichever one you want to use, values 4, 2, 1, 1 over 2, 1 over 4. And that's our lesson for today. So if you get confused, please go back and listen, because I know I was talking slow. Right? So go back, make sure you get everything properly before you can start reading or writing on sheet music. But I will do more lessons to help you understand much better. Alright? If you have any questions, don't forget to comment down below in the comment section. Ask away and I'll respond and answer your questions as soon as possible. Alright? Thank you for following me. Thank you for giving me your time. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.